Congressman Mark Alford of Missouri joins us now. Good to see you, sir. We appreciate it. How far does this go? Today, it's no race in scholarships. Is it no sex in scholarships next?
Well, look, Leland, we have to follow the directives of the U.S. Supreme Court. And just to correct you a little bit on your tease into the commercial break, you mentioned that this was a Republican win for the Supreme Court. This is a win for America. This is a win for trying to unite the country once again. For far too long, we've had on these glasses of racial differences and trying to divide America up by race. This was a key decision, saying that we should not consider race when it comes to admission in colleges. We should not discriminate against Asians. We should not discriminate against blacks, any race. And so we're setting a course now for a new direction in America, trying to bring people together. And I fully agree with our Attorney General, Andrew Bailey. When it comes to financial positions, we should not be offering financial aid based on race. Now, just like the Supreme Court decision and John Roberts leading that decision said, you can write in an essay something that might give you some favorability when it comes to race, but it's not going to be a check mark on a box that you have to check off any longer.
We know what the court did. I think about other protected classes, right? If we're going to talk about equal protection, there's scholarships in Missouri based on disability. There's scholarships in Missouri based on your sex. Whether or not sex assigned to gender or not is a different story. We won't get into that. But at the same point here, how far does this go for Republicans? I'll quibble with your correction. We can do that later as well. But how far does this go for Republicans of saying they want to keep stripping this away? What's next? Are we going to strip away for scholarships based on legacy?
Well, legacy is certainly an issue. You know, there are a lot of privilege-type colleges that really take that into account. I'm not going to delve into that, but I do know that for far too long, we have been dividing this nation when it comes to race. When Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. says we should not look at the person's skin color, but rather the content and the character of that person. It's time we start doing that.
I get the concept. I get what the idea is, but I think about how Republicans are treating this, right? And it reminds me a little bit, just from an outside observer standpoint, of what happened after the Dobbs decision, because Republicans thought the overturning of Roe was going to be a huge boom for them politically. And they went on a rampage in a number of states trying to institute stricter and stricter abortion laws. That really backfired. We can argue why. We can also agree that a large portion of the media demonized what Republicans were trying to do. But doesn't these kinds of actions by Republicans, especially in a state like Missouri, just open up Republicans to the same kind of thing of taking the win too far and it backfiring?
Look, we're not taking victory laps on this, okay? This is not a Republican win in which we're all going to celebrate. This is a win for America that we can look at our own hearts and figure out how we truly believe. My wife and I, when we were living in Kansas City, we were going to a pretty much all-white church, and we took it upon ourselves to start a bus ministry where we went into the inner city and got urban kids who wanted to come to church with us. And it wasn't just black kids. It was white kids and Hispanic kids, because this is a socioeconomic situation that's holding people down. It's not necessarily race. And we've got to be willing to lift people up, to make people better, to inspire people to greatness, no matter what their age or sex.
No, look, it's a fair point. I'm sort of trying to figure out where it goes in terms of the political conversation. Congressman Mark Alford of the great state of Missouri. I say that as a proud resident. It's good to see you, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Come visit sometime. I'm back in the district. We'll be back in D.C. next week.
Thanks for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to subscribe. Click the red button to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.